Hello, Capricorns. It is AD with Chaos Tarot, and I'm going to be doing your December 2018 monthly reading, okay? Welcome if you are new. Welcome back if you're old. I'm so happy to have you as we continue to build our community together, all right? I don't know. I gotta think of something catchy. Anyways, a few quick announcements, all right? I am going to be doing a December holiday special for my readings, all right? So I'm going to be doing a $15 6-card spread, all right? So this is kind of the spread that I use in my general reading. So, like, it's a really dope offer. I wanted to do something, moving into the new year's, in case you guys want to say, what can I expect for the new year, stuff like that. So all that information is going to be in the description box below, along with a link to this really cool interview that I got to do with the Peace Dealer. He's this really awesome guy on YouTube who has like kind of like a talk show or podcast, and he speaks to spiritual people who do tarot, astrologers, all walks of life, and he brings them together. I was so honored that he asked me to be on that show, so I also provided that link in the description box below. And along there is my Instagram, all the decks I use, all the crystals I use, so just feel free to look in the description box if you have any questions, because it's probably answered there, or it'll lead you to where you can get that question answered, alright? So without any further ado, Capricorns, let's get into your reading. I am going to say, I started this reading. This is my second time the computer literally went off. So Mercury is definitely in Gatorade. So just be aware of that, Capricorns. And I was like kind of deep into your reading. Like I was like really on the vibe, and like literally the computer just shut off. And I was like, okay, well, no point in crying over spilled milk. But one message that I did want to, bring into this particular reading is, like, if some of you guys are starting on new endeavors, all right, if some of you guys are really, like, trying new ways to start money or just new studies or things like that, anything new that has to do with, maybe more so finances and kind of, like, trying to build a stable foundation. If it's not working out right now, 1, Mercury is still in retrograde, so please be mindful of that. And 2, stick with it. Be grounded in it, because it might start off rocky, but it'll end up being like a really great thing. So kind of put your pride aside, Capricorn, and keep working at it and make sure that you get better at it, because it does have the potential to be, financially sound. Another thing that I want to bring from the reading that I lost was, if some of you guys are going kind of out of whack with your emotions, or you're finally coming into balance with your emotion, remember, as above, so below. You guys really want to pay close attention to your horoscope, because Capricorns are going through some of the biggest changes, okay? Especially when it has to do with emotionally. A lot of them are being challenged. A lot of you guys are being challenged on, like, your internal views, and kind of challenged on, like, a spiritual level, have experienced some type of tower moments. For some of you guys, it has to do with finances, or you've really been hit hard where it hurts. So just be mindful that, like, it's nothing that you've done. They're just lessons that you need to learn. And so just work on evolving through them, okay, Capricorn? Because that's how you're going to reach a state of balance, all right? That's how you're going to get to, it was temperance that flew out. That's how you're going to get to that temperance. That's how you're going to get to that youthful state and that higher elevation, right? With the 2 cups that are moving upwards. It's just causing you to evolve. So don't try to fight against the current, Capricorn. If there's something on your heart to do, go ahead and do it. Especially if you struggle with it in the past, you would be better off to fight and work through it than to, run away from it, because it's just going to keep reappearing. That's crazy. That's really crazy. And then look at the Chariot. And look, okay, so that's exactly what I was saying. A lot of you guys are going through sudden upheaval. A lot of you guys are going through some changes. It's best to evolve. It's best to put on a warrior's face. Learn the yin and the yang. Look, this is balance, the yin and the yang. It's exactly what I was saying earlier. And he's moving forward through it with a, very stoic. He's learned, he's mastered both of these sphinxes as he's moving forward and pushing forwards, Capricorn. So just be mindful of that, all right? But we'll see what comes up in your actual reading. But I'm happy that these cards reveal themselves, because I definitely wanted to share that with you guys. I thought that was important. The 5 of Swords has made this appearance in almost every reading that I've done today, which was all earth signs. So you guys are all battling with words and egos. There has been a situation that you guys have been in where somebody has been so concerned with winning or being right that they've isolated themselves from other people. So now, and I feel like Capricorns, like I always like to try to guess which one you are. I feel like Capricorns, you might be this guy right here. I feel like there's been times where like you've been challenged and it's been so hard for you to put down your swords that eventually you guys have become hard to play with, and so people have had to remove themselves from the situation in order to like regain them. But I don't necessarily think that that was your intention, but I think that that's some of the tower moments that are coming in for you guys, where you guys are wrestling with how you communicate, how do you use your words, how do you get your point across. Is it worth being right all the time? Can you swallow your pride sometimes, Capricorns, and just be okay with being like, look, you know, I was wrong, or I went about it the wrong way. So, but, and I'm not trying to attack you, because I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. It's just like, this guy has a smirk on his face, but he's alone. So it's just like, is it worth being right, or is it worth being alone? This is a very Aquarian energy right here, where like Aquarians are just like, I'd rather be right, right? So you can be right. You have every right to be right, Capricorns, but note how these people are affected, okay, by the way that you're communicating. And because of this 5, it's unstable. There's an instability here that's coming from the way that you're specifically communicating and dealing with your pride and your ego with others, okay? So just be mindful of that, Capricorns, all right? Oof. Oof. Oh yeah, so this, okay, so all the cards that flew out in the previous reading are flying out now, alright? So here we have the Queen of Swords. So this is what I was talking about just now. She's blunt, you know, even if you're a king, right? You know, this woman has been through a lot, and she's coming back, and she just takes no bullshit. There's a bluntness and a brazenness to her. She can be very cold, all right, and very direct. Again, can be dealing with Aquarius, can be dealing with a Libra or a Gemini, all right? But it's a very wordy energy, and seeing this pop out, especially while Mercury is in retrograde, this is a be mindful of how you are communicating with people. I cannot stress it enough, Capricorn, because you might not mean it, right? You might not mean what you say, but you're easily can be taken out of context, all right? But either way, regardless, there is an air of discernment with the Queen of Swords. Like, she's not one to let a whole bunch of shit get past her. You know, she will cut shit off at the neck, right? Because she's been there. She's not trying to open her up. She's not trying to be susceptible to a whole bunch of bullshit and shenanigans again. So she's very wise, you know, in the way that she moves, right? And so here we have Temperance, okay? So I'm sorry, but this could be your energy or somebody that you're dealing with energy, right? And then we have Temperance, which is Sagittarius. And again, this card flew out previously. And so with this, you know, there's a balance here that's happening. There's a higher elevation. I touched on this earlier, right? But you're trying to reach this point, right? And the only way to do that is to kind of be careful with how you communicate, maybe even cutting some people off and going internal. You know, the Queen of Swords isn't necessarily the most popular person. She doesn't necessarily have a lot of friends. She kind of prefers to keep those people that are close, but she keeps a very tight and small circle, okay? But look at this. We have the 7 of Pentacles fly out. And so this is what I was saying. There's a patience and investment, but there's certainly patience, but this isn't anything that is new to you, Capricorn. You are one of the most patient signs in the Zodiac. So you guys be mindful of what you're investing in right now, because it does absolutely have the opportunity to grow in something stable, but it's going to require patience, and it's going to require you working through that, kind of like I was saying earlier. So I'm very happy that these cards are flying out. Yeah, there's just... You're going to have to stick through some things in order to see the benefit of them, Capricorn, all right? So don't give up, all right? Ooh. Right, and so here we have another 5, Capricorn. So some of you guys, and this is what I was saying, don't give up. Some of you guys are focused on spilled milk. Some of you guys are focusing on, you know, these 3 cups that are spilled over when there are 2 cups that are right behind you. There are new opportunities that are coming in. But again, a lot of you guys have been in a very crazy emotional situation, you know, where you've been feeling like you've been left out. And I think some of this has to do with your love life, Capricorn. Some of it can do with finances, but I feel like that's how you kind of tried to avoid your emotions, is kind of putting yourself into work instead of addressing some things that are affecting you emotionally. So be mindful, all right? Because who wants to stay in the 5 of Cups state? No one. I've been shuffling for fucking ever 10 minutes. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, Capricorn. Lord have mercy. Okay. So the underlying energy we have is the Seven of Cups, Capricorn. So there's a lot of confusion, a lot of options. A lot of you guys might be feeling overwhelmed and lost. But like I said, pay close attention to your horoscopes. It's nothing that I'm not saying that there's nothing that you can do about it. It's just supposed to be happening for your evolution. So be aware, all right? So with that Seven of Cups, there's just a lot of options. You know, you're trying to decide what's real and what's fake. Are you getting a friend or are you getting a foe, right? Now, the heart of the reading we have is the Four of Wands. The foundation we have is the Eight of Cups. The present we have is the Three of Swords. We have the Moon coming out as the most likely outcome, and then your card of advice is the Devil, and that's your energy there, Capricorn. All right. It's really interesting. I'm going to see why the Four of Wands is here. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh, look. And then we have Death. We have Death come too. You guys are really, a planetary, like, you guys are kind of, have been going through it, but again, it's for your evolution, it's for your transformation and metamorphosis. Why is this Four of Wands here, please? Right. Okay. So like I was saying, there is celebration. There is stuff moving. A lot of you guys are coming out of a financial, a lot of you guys are receiving happy financial opportunities, okay? Some of you guys, the Four of Wands can equal marriage or celebration or just coming together. A lot of you guys might be receiving money from family for the holiday season, so be aware of that. But there is celebration that is coming in for you guys, all right, Capricorn? So that's absolutely beautiful as the heart of this reading. But, so finance is the heart, and that's why I said some of you guys are making moves financially, but you guys are feeling drained emotionally, all right? And in the past, we have the Eight of Cups. So either you walked away from something or someone walked away from you, all right? This could be your energy. So you could have invested a lot of work, a lot of effort into someone or somebody or just, you know, a project. And you realized that it was no longer serving you and now you had to walk away, all right? Or somebody walked away from you. Somebody put a lot of work into the relationship and it just didn't work out. And so now, you know, it's moving on. The only thing about it, Capricorn, is right now, presently, you are appearing as the Three of Swords. So there's heartbreak here. There's some pain here, you guys. So be mindful. And again, I think a lot of it has to do with communication. I think a lot of it has to do with how you've communicated in the past, what you've said, how you've said it, or how things have been said to you. There's just been this air, you know, energies can go both ways. But there's been like this tick for tack that I'm sensing with you guys. And it's kind of left a dryness, not a dryness, but like an open wound, right? So the Three of Swords is a very difficult energy to get through, but there is happiness. So there's absolutely nothing, you know, everything is temporary, okay? But it seems like I'm getting a very overwhelming feeling, especially with the Seven of Cups being the underlying energy. This is, you know, some of you guys are being very idealistic. Some of you guys are kind of being unrealistic, which is unlike Capricorns with how you are moving, okay? And how you're grooving. But yeah, look at this. So presently coming up as a Three of Swords, this is a very painful and hard energy, all right? It's coming after, you know, some sort of betrayal. Maybe you feel betrayed by someone, you know, or you feel left. I just feel like there's a sense of an abandonment here. Either you had to abandon a situation or somebody abandoned you. And you're you're keeping it in, right? Because we have this Moon card here, Capricorn. This can be dealing with a Cancer or a Pisces. But it's really fucking with your subconscious. I think that you guys are more internal than you have been in a very long time. And I feel that for a lot of earth signs, and I think air signs were about the same too, where there's just you guys might even be kind of moody in the way that you're handling things because there's just a swamp of feelings and emotions that are coming through and you're having to sort through them alone in a way, Capricorns. When you see this is dealing with the hidden, the subconscious. What are the things that you're not addressing, Capricorn? What are the questions that need to be asked? What are the things that need to be said that you're not saying, right? Where is this coming from, Capricorn? So with this Moon card, this is a really internal energy, okay? You can be dealing with your mother in some ways, right? And especially around holidays. Some of you guys are going to be interacting with your mothers in some some deep levels, right? But here we have the energy as the devil. That's a very interesting to pop up as the advice, Capricorn. I'm going to say what I think it is, and I'm going to go ahead and clarify, which is probably ass backwards, but, you know, we're going to shoot the shit. With this being the card of advice, Capricorn, and your energy, the devil represents, like, you know, bondage, materialism, focusing on status, being worldly, right? And it can also represent, you know, these are the same couples from the lover card, so it can represent a relationship that has gone sour, but just really kind of toxic energies and passions. What I'm thinking that this is asking you to do is to release that. Release. Ask what is holding you back. Some of you guys might be struggling with addiction because escape, but I see why you guys would be struggling with some things, because there are some deep feelings that are here, and there's a lot of confusion. And, you know, it has to deal with some really internal stuff. So some of you guys might be looking to escape through vices, through drinking, through drugs, through sex, right? Things like that. Porn. I don't fucking know. I don't know what people do nowadays. Glue. I don't know. Do people still sniff glue? I don't fucking know. Eating Tide Pods? I'm not sure. But anyways, I think that there's a release that needs to happen, Capricorn, because you feel like you're tied or you're bound to something. And this is not necessarily the case, right? Because they're bound to each other. They're not bound to him. So there's something that should be left behind. This is breaking old habits and breaking old cycles, right? With the devil being here, right? So let's see. Why is the devil? Yeah. So look, we have Justice, which is balance card. So it kind of goes into what I was saying, as like, as far as just like seeking balance within yourself. But in order to do that, you have to release and let go. And look at this, the Nine of Pentacles. So this person has, so if we're going from two people to solitude, you will be able to restore balance and solitude when you feel like you build yourself up. You know, it's focusing on, how do I word this? Capricorns really find comfort in status. They find comfort in wealth and abundance and people admiring them, all right? More so than any other sign. Taurus are materialistic in a way, like they really care about the fineness. Like a Taurus might buy, you know, a really expensive bottle of wine to have it, but Capricorns need to buy that expensive bottle of wine, right? There's this, and it's not anything that's necessarily negative. It's just that Capricorns have to have the best, and they have to have other people know that they're the best, right? There's opportunities with this Ace of Pentacles for you to get that best, and in fact, you will be rewarded and you will be excited by it. You know, there might not be any movement happening right now, but it is going to lead to abundance. Right now, if that's what you feel is going to make you happy, Capricorns, you gotta let go of some shit in order to get there, right? You might be caught up on the wrong things. A lot of you guys might have gotten into a gilded cage where you surrounded yourself with abundance. You surrounded yourself, but you're now alone. You're now isolated, kind of in your own world, because you kind of put your status in achieving that status in front of some of your more emotional relationships or ties. If that makes sense, Capricorns. And so a lot of you guys feel like, in order to restore that, you guys are going to have to open it up. Open yourselves back up to different experiences. All right? Especially if you feel like especially if you feel like you're kind of alone and isolated in this gilded cage. The other way to read this, right, is, sorry, my throat is so scratchy and I have nothing to drink. So that's why I keep like, anyway, sorry. Another way to read this is, if you do focus on that, how are you going to get that? How are you going to get to this, right? You can't just stay there in la la land, hoping and praying and wishing that this is going to come about and that you're going to reach the Nine of Pentacles with, you know, no effort or no plan. How are you going to get there? How are you going to make this happen? How are you going to restore? How are you going to bring this karma, right? This is karmic. How are you going to bring this karmic cycle into being? But the reason why I don't necessarily think that that is the reading, although it easily could be, it's just like, that's not normally your problem. Capricorns don't normally have an issue with being in La La Land, which is why it's so interesting that this is your underlying energy. This is a very Piscean energy right here, right? Of just being like, oh, in like another fucking world. And you guys seem to be in another fucking world, especially with this in your emotions, guys. And you're kind of in some uncharted territory, right? With this moon card being here. Okay, Capricorns, this reading is running really fucking long, and I'm not necessarily sure why. Alright, anyways, let's get into your oracles. Yeah, there's definitely been, somebody has definitely turned their back on a situation, but they're not feeling at peace with that. And it's bringing them to some hidden depths of like their mind and their psyche that they definitely weren't expecting to be there. And it's kind of overwhelming. Not kind of, it's definitely overwhelming. Alright. So at the bottom of the deck we have Aries, okay? So this is action. This is I am. You know, Aries truly believe in themselves and they believe in the, you know, their movement. They're ruled by the war god and they just keep moving forward without asking any questions. You know, they take names, you know, shoot first and then take names later. It's kind of like what I'm getting. So there's some actions that need to be taken and I really feel like this is on a financial front, but I feel like more so the actions have to do with how you are interacting with this devil figure. If you're breaking these chains and you're asking to summon like the you know, war god and that Aries type energy, you have to really fight through that. Do you know what I'm saying? You really have to break away from that. So there's some fire. You know, fire scorches earth. And so it's asking you to burn some of your foundations if they haven't been burnt already. Like we saw the tower earlier, right? There's a burning that's happening, right? And it's making room for something new, but there's definitely a whirlwind. Like look at all this smoke that's like it's kind of like a tornado of fire. And then we have Pluto here again, and so that's extremes too, especially when it has to do with emotions. We have Virgo, which is your you know, your sister sign, a fellow Earth sign. And basically, this is, you know, striving towards perfection. This is kind of what I was talking about earlier. There is, you know, a lot of pinnacle energy here. And so for work, a lot of you guys are striving for perfection. But be careful that you're not being too idealistic. Be careful that you're not being too in the clouds with what you want. You have to bring it back to planet Earth, right? You'll get there, but you have to be practical in how you're going about it. But Virgos really evoke beauty, purity, you know, they're very, very, you know, they're very analytical, all right? So they're analyzing situations. So you're analyzing yourself, I feel, for sure. Oh, boom. And then we have Scorpio come out, you know, partner with Pluto again. So a lot of you guys are working through your fears. A lot of you guys are being asked to release your fears. Again, the cycles of death and rebirth. There's some analyzing that's going here. Some certain earth. Some of your habits are being scorched. And I think that makes you guys very uncomfortable. And so some of you guys are kind of going internal. And the thing about Virgo energy too is like Virgos can have a tendency to not fully embrace their self-worth. And so some of you guys might be dealing, you know, fiddling with your confidence. You know, fiddling with your confidence, but you might be feeling less than, all right? Don't stay there. There's no point. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. You guys are one of my favorite signs of the Zodiac, okay? But just because things aren't working out the way that you thought they would doesn't necessarily mean that you were wrong. It just means that it's time to readjust. That is the key element, okay? Excuse me. So with with Scorpio being here, Scorpios can be some of the most manipulative signs. This is my other favorite sign of the Zodiac. But, you know, Scorpios are manipulative, and it's positive in manipulation sometimes because they're using what they have to get what they want, right? That's something that you guys share, Capricorns. But basically, there's an element of power and control, you know? So be mindful of that. Some of you guys need to release power, relinquish power and control. You can't control everything. You can't control everything. You can't storm your way through everything, okay? So be mindful of that. I think that all of that is being challenged with you right now. Ooh, my left hand's itching. I must be getting a message. Alright? look at this. Your hard work is paying off, and this is your energy, Capricorn, and it goes right to this Four of Wands and this Ace of Pentacles. Your hard work is paying off. It's just going to require patience, but stick to it. This is what I said earlier. You know, sometimes I lose what I said at the beginning, but this is what I was saying earlier. Stick to it. Even if it's not working out right now, just keep doing it. It's really going to work out. You guys are going to be in this Nine of Pentacles moments that you want to be in. It's just a mix of like getting emotional balance and emotional control, but financially you guys are on the right track. And don't let your past hold you back. Virgos also have this also. So it's interesting. Virgos also have this also. Virgos have this too. It's interesting that their energy also appeared. So maybe you guys want to check out at least the second half of the Virgo reading. Also. But this is relinquishing some things, some of those habits, some of those old habits, some of those old thoughts, some of those toxic energy, toxic people in your life. Don't let it hold you back. You are bound by nothing. You are chained to nothing, okay? Don't let this devil character keep you. Don't let it keep you. You're a free bird. You know, you can fly and do whatever the fuck you want. It's just a matter of what the fuck is it that you want. And if it's status and wealth, you got to keep working at it. It's not going to work out the way that you think it is the first time, Capricorn. It's just not happening. But you keep working at it hard, you will receive those rewards, okay? And then we have here again with Pisces, meditate and contemplate. Meditate and contemplate. It goes here with this moon. A lot of you guys, again, are going through some very, like, you guys are surrounded by options. What are you going to do? You know, your head is certainly in the clouds, and that's not where it usually is. But you're there for a reason. You know, you're up and away for a reason, Capricorn. Oh, man. We've had some really... Yes, okay, look. Security. This is something that, again, Capricorns, it's very important to you. It's very, very important to you. It goes with that Scorpio card. This is what I'm saying. That power and control. You want to be secure. But don't be secure in old habits. Don't find your security in this devil character. Don't find security in your in material status, okay? It's deeper than that. It's truly deeper than that. Where do you truly find security? A lot of you guys might feel comfortable with things and the nicest cars and all that other stuff, but who is it that gives you that, you know, who is it that makes you feel calm and safe and all that other stuff? You guys are working on it. You are securing your bag, right? That is not a problem. But when you have that bag, what else is there, right? And so here at the bottom of the deck, we have patience. So it's coming. It's coming. It's coming, Capricorn. It's slow moving, but it is coming. There's no need to worry about that. Just hang in there, right? And then, hold on, shuffle this one more time. Oops. It's certainly coming. But you guys got to find some security in some things that, you know, security in non-tangible items, right? Security within yourself. Security in knowing that you're good enough, you're fair enough, you're moving in the right directions, you're doing the right things. It's just making sure that you're questioning your habits and making sure that you're not isolating yourself because of your ego and because you want to be right. Sorry, Capricorns, but sometimes it's just not worth it. Woo! And then we have wisdom. Word to the wise, Capricorn, all right? Wisdom. So through this, through this Three of Swords situation, I really think that you guys are going to be some of the most, like, monks, almost. I really think that you guys are going to be some of the most grounded individuals. I think that you guys are going to kind of be like Oprah, Super Soul Sunday. Because I think that you guys are going to have the wisdom and the knowledge, because you guys been there. You guys been there. You've done that, and you're going to emerge the stronger person once you finally get out of the 7 cup states of being afraid of all the options that you have. And then once you finally grow into yourself and you finally emerge, people are going to be coming to you and asking and seeking advice from you, because you're going to really have that status that it is that you guys, you know, some of you guys absolutely cherish. And when you get that status, you'll get it and more. You'll be more than the nice car that you have. You'll be more than the nice house that you live in. More than that bottle of wine that I was talking about earlier. You guys are going to be fully evolved people from the inside out. But there's some subconscious work that you guys have to do. Alright, there's some things that you have to release. There are some things that you have to address. There's some things that you really are going to have to release and let go of, and get out of this devil energy in order to receive this wisdom that you guys are truly working on earning. But just keep working at it, Capricorns. Just hang in there, okay? You guys are really on the right track. I know that it's difficult. I know that your planets are all over the fucking place, and I know that Saturn is a dick. So I completely get it. But you guys are truly moving in the right direction. Your hard work is going to pay off, you know. I understand that some of you guys are heartbroken and kind of restless, but what can you do to resurrect that? You know, if it's finding someone else, there's no point in staying in a 5 of Cups situation, but there's a battle with your subconscious. You're being challenged in a way that you haven't before, which is always difficult. So just be careful when you're going inside yourself, but you're going to be addressing some things that you'd probably rather not. So just be aware of that, Capricorn, all right? So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you shortly, all right, with the yearlies and the mid-months and all that. So, peace, Capricorns. Bye.